Hey everyone, so in this video we're going to break down PayPal stock. So this company has been severely oversold, and to go over a little bit more about that, why has this company been oversold? Number one, declining margins, a lot of competition in its sector, MasterCard, Visa, etc. And overall public sentiment was poor with that. The previous CEO was not instilling any confidence to its shareholders, not instituting any sort of changes into the company. Recently there's been a new CEO, just going over right here. This is earnings. Ever since the new CEO has been appointed with a reinvigoration into the company, it's been trending upwards. Overall, there's more that I can delve into the stock, like its share buyback program, overall going to increase the share price of the company. But let's look into some of its fundamentals. So the price to earnings ratio. Let's go over the price to earnings ratio in the company. So stock price right over here, sitting at a pretty 60.12, and look at its price to earnings ratio. We're sitting at historical lows. Previously about an average about 51 in its price to earnings ratio. Overall, strong fundamental company, fair value for this stock, with many analysts sitting well over $100 in the stock. With that being said, let's hop into the technicals. So over here, I want to just take a brief overview of what happened in the company. Remember our market psychology, what has been going on? Periods of euphoria, the stock going up, trading above its fundamental value. Now it's continually being oversold. People are going to fears being instilled into the company. We've hit capitulation levels, rebounded off of that. Now we're capitulating once again. You can see here that there's been a channel that it's been trading over recently, well below the moving averages, well below this channel that it was trading off of. So this is a period of capitulation that happened in the company. Recently there's been earnings. Ever since earnings, it's been trending upwards. So what I ended up doing, like I said, I drew a channel that it was respecting. After that, I plotted out my Fibonacci levels. So swing low to the swing high. Remember, identify a trend, higher and higher highs at this level. You're going to wait for a retracement to enter into the stock, and you're going to find confluences using Fibonacci's as well as support and demand or moving averages. In this case, I found a moving average. Once again, this purple slash pink line is the 50 moving average. This green line is the 200 moving average. What did I say about price action with moving averages? When a stock trades severely below or above, overall just away from the moving averages, it tends to always climb or be a magnet back to that moving average. And what did we see here? This was the moving average, severely out of that moving average, reclaimed that moving average. After reclaiming that moving average, we traded above it, and now it's making its retrace back to that moving average. And what do we see here? From the Fibonacci level, the 0.5 to the 0.618, this is the golden zone. Remember that. It hit a perfect retrace off of that 0.5 fib. It once again retraced back into the moving average, which is a confluence with this Fibonacci. Strong volume, overall volume. Check this volume out compared to historical averages, and look at this green bullish bar. Huge, completely engulfed this previous bar. So great support into the company overall. And where do I see this company traveling to? Once again, I plotted out a supply and demand at these levels. So ultimately what happened at this level? It broke down below. Now it's being used as resistance. Once again, it traded off of that level. So we're in that period of resistance. We are trending towards the overall channel as well as aligning with that 200 moving average. Where do I ultimately see this company heading towards? There, in another brief lesson into price action, gaps always get filled eventually. With this, there's been a huge gap into the stock, which I plotted right over here, which I see this company traveling back to. Ultimately, I see the stock traveling from here all the way up to here. Where do you see in terms of percentage? This is roughly a 16% gain for many of you guys. For those entering, I signaled roughly around this level, which has already netted us about a 5% gain. Many of you guys can take profits here. Like I said, once we hit around 5 to 10% profit, this is when we want to take a lot of the profit. Just overall, due to its fundamentals, I don't want to sell here. I want to wait until we at least get into the trade back into this top of this channel, and overall reclaim this Fibonacci right here, retrace perfectly over to the 100, and overall eventually to the price gap. All right, this has been a brief overview of the company. If you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot me a question. I can delve into the stock a little bit more in detail. But overall, like I said, do your fundamental analysis of a company, understand what's been going on in terms of the psychology of this company, understand that we've hit capitulation levels. Delving into the technical analysis, I draw an overall trend line for the stock. We're already trading at multi-year lows, so our risk is already mitigated. I'll then plot out my supply and demand, see this area of previous demand break down, now being used as resistance, as you can see here, and now we're trading within that supply and demand zone, reclaimed off of the confluence of 0.5 as well as the 50 moving average, paired with solid fundamentals. I'm very confident in this company hitting at least to the top of this wedge to take in some profits, and then ultimately taking profits at the gap here.